Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have James. James is from Dubai. So let's see what James has to say. Enjoy the interview. So, hello, James. How are you doing today? You okay?
Really well, thank you, William. How are you?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time this evening for the interview. Thank you. Appreciate.
My pleasure, mate. My pleasure. Happy
So, how
days.
was how was your day today?
It was good, thanks. You couldn't really do much because I live in Dubai and it rained today. And rain in Dubai is a terrible thing for the city. There's no irrigation, there's water in the streets. I took a video outside earlier today, like we couldn't actually leave our apartment building because the only road out was flooded, completely flooded. So
Wow.
yeah, it's been a
And
day at home, working at home, reading. Yeah, quite a chilled one. Yeah.
where are you from originally, James?
I'm from North London, Highbury Corner.
Ah, so you're from London. Wow.
Yeah.
And why Dubai?
Dubai came at the end of a very long list of places that I lived for a little while. Um, I lived sporadically. I lived in Barcelona for about 7 years. I absolutely love Barcelona. It's still in my heart. It's my favorite city in the world. When the pandemic hit, I was just kind of I decided I just didn't want to be there anymore. I felt I got everything I could out of that city, and so I wanted somewhere completely different. I wanted somewhere with money that I could go and perform and get paid well for it. And so I settled on Dubai. I had a friend here who I hadn't seen for a few years, and she messaged me saying, "Why are you still in Barcelona? Honestly, like, why don't you come to Dubai and see what there is over here?" So I packed up my life and I moved here and I got my residency and work permit,
Wow.
got some business cards and started hustling and performing magic for people, and it just kind of snowballed from there. But Dubai was just I've lived in so many different places that are nothing like Dubai, and I just wanted somewhere different, like really different. I've lived in Cambodia, in Laos, in Nicaragua. Yeah, I wanted somewhere different. So Dubai is it, and it's fabulous there. I love it. It's a fantastic city.
And how long have you been living there for?
I moved here in September 21, so it's kind of my third season in Dubai.
And before you moved there, have you visited the city before or not?
No, I'd never been there before.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have this thing about challenging myself. I love challenging myself. And so just the thought of just going to somewhere that I'd never been before and really trying to make it as a professional magician, which I hadn't really done. I'd kind of flirted with it in Barcelona, but I wasn't really putting myself out there as much as I should do. So to try and make it in a city like Dubai, I felt that was a real challenge. So it was very difficult. I'm not going to lie. It was
Mhm.
extremely hard work to begin with when I first moved here. It was a pandemic. It was still, masks everywhere. Try and perform for people wearing masks. It just didn't work. I'm not anti-vax, anti-mask. I'm not like that at all. It's just doing what I do when you're trying to create connections with people and all the rest of it, trying to perform in a mask, it just wasn't working. But yeah, eventually started getting some gigs, and yeah, it's all good. I do love it here, I have to say.
Amazing. So as you already touched about, about your profession, so walk me through a little bit more how everything starts your career as a musician. Tell me how things got together.
So this is a story that I tell most days, I have to say, because it's probably one of my most asked questions. I mean, of course, people want to know like how you get into something like magic. It was when I was traveling in Laos in Southeast Asia in 2012. I met a magician. Sorry, my kitten just jumped up onto the desk. Um,
Who's
she's
that?
she honestly just is always climbing on Daddy's desk when he's trying to work.
Oh, sweet.
Um, um, yeah, I was traveling in Laos and I met a magician. He was working at the same bar as me. He's called Adam Axford. I loved his magic. It was beautiful, but we only had 5 days together because as I was arriving at the bar, he was leaving to travel on. Um, so when I got back to England, I was a bit bored. I didn't really have much to do, and I was just like, "Tell you what, I'm going to start learning a little bit of magic." I can't remember what the trick was. It was something to do with two jacks. I learned it on YouTube. I've tried to find it since, and I can't find it. Um, but yeah, so I did that. I learned this one card trick. I started doing it with more and more people, and I just love people's reactions. It was super fun. And then he came back from traveling a month later, was like, "Oh, bro, you're learning magic. That's cool." So he started teaching me more and more. We'd go to bars and clubs together, performing together, and just kind of snowballed from there. But yeah, he was very much a mentor in magic. You know, even a week before I met him, I never, ever, ever would have considered
Wow.
being a magician would be a possibility at all. I
So,
was
yeah,
30 when I very first picked up a pack of cards, so it was quite a life change.
I see. It's interesting how life presents us those opportunities that you never thought in your life you would be exploring, and suddenly you just find your path and your passion, and things just go, in the right direction.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. Life is such a beautiful journey. It takes you on
Totally.
such interesting paths. You bump
Yeah.
into people and you meet people that you never would have expected.
Yeah.
Some give you a very, very positive experience. Some people give you a very negative experience. And it's about finding the ones that will give you the most positive lifeline and life pathway. Yeah. So I entirely agree with. Yeah.
And that's how memories are made.
Absolutely. Yeah. And
Yeah.
life is all about collecting memories. It's not about collecting possessions and cars and boats and Porsches. That's not it. You know, you can't take any of that with you to the other side, you know, but you want to be at the end of your life going, "Oh man, remember that? Oh, that was amazing. Oh, I'm so glad I did that when I had the chance," you know. Yeah, collect memories, possessions.
James, before we start our journey, William the Magic Box, I would like you to tell me something interesting about yourself or something that not many people know about you.
Something not many people know about me. Um, I'm actually really quite shy. Yeah, which is it's something I've been working on more and more the older I get. But I'm really quite shy. Actually really quite, as much as I seem like an extrovert when I'm performing, because you just have to be. You have to be able to walk up to anyone and just start talking to people and be interesting and fun and performing and all the rest of it. At the end of it, all I want to do is come home and cuddle up with my partner and just watch a bit of TV and not talk to anyone and not engage. You know, it's just because it's incredibly draining. Performing in the best way possible. It's very,
Of
very
course,
draining.
of course.
Um, but yeah, I'm a lot shyer than people think. Magic gives you confidence for sure.
It's very good.
Yeah,
James, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
I would love to. Yeah. Thanks, William.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. It's not magic like yours, but it's magic, full of magic.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna play a song now, just for us to relax a bit before the first question. Okay?
Mhm. Okay.
Let's do it. Right, so before we start the game, during the join, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, some reason you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Hmm.
Right, first question for you is, what is the scary thing that happened to you?
The scariest thing that happened to me. Oh, I got jumped in Cambodia, 2013. Yeah, I got jumped by a couple of locals. I was working at one bar, and there was another bar which was just completely empty because we were filling our bar every night. We were a group of promoters, and we really loved what we were doing. So our bar was absolutely full, and the next bar down was completely empty. So the owner of that bar took offense, and he just decided to jump one of the promoters. So he jumped me at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I was in hospital for about 2 weeks. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
When you
That was scary. Yeah, that was scary because I mean, I all my injuries were like up all around my head. I completely blacked out when it happened. I was absolutely covered in blood. Yeah, that's just one of those situations where you know You know, saying that there are people who you meet in life you have positive experiences with, and you have people who you have horribly negative experiences with. And that guy, he didn't even know my name. He didn't know who I was. He just knew that I worked for that bar, and that bar was the bar that was taking all his business because his bar was empty. Because we were having a great time and we were filling our bar every evening.
Oh my
Um,
God. Wow.
so yeah, that's just one of those life experiences, man.
Oh,
What can you do?
wow.
Yeah, that was pretty scary, man. That really was quite scary. Yeah.
And
Um,
it took how long took you for you to go back to your regular life again, your normal life again after this incident?
well, I was living in Cambodia at the time. I moved there in October 2012. That happened in November, and I was due to stay there till March. And a lot of people are saying, "Are you going to leave? You're going to leave?" I was like, "No, of course I'm not going to leave. I'm just going to. I'll be fine." You know. So I was like going backwards and forwards with the hospital for a couple of months. Sorry, a couple of weeks. I've got stitches over my nose and my eyebrow and in my head here. They kept on, the bar was amazing. They took me to the hospital, kept on having the stitches changed and washed and cleaned and all the rest of it. And then as my face healed up, I started going to the bar more and just like seeing everyone again. And yeah, and then I just kind of integrated back into that. And stayed there till March and had a really, really beautiful time there. Yeah. So it was a negative that turned out to into a positive, which is what I always try and do with anything, any bad situation. You know?
Tough question for you. Have you forgiven this person?
Yeah, I have. I forgave him. I forgave him because there's no reason to hold on to hate. I
Okay,
don't think it serves anyone. Um, he wasn't hitting me specifically. It wasn't anything personal against me. He was hitting the bar. You know, he wasn't hitting me.
I see.
Um, and I didn't. Yeah, I just don't see the point in holding on to hate. I don't get it. I think if you hold on to hate, you're just holding on to baggage, and it's just going to affect you in a negative way. So anyone that knows me knows that I'm incredibly positive. I'm as positive as I can be about any situation, even if it's a bad situation. I always try and draw the positives out of it. You know,
Amazing.
that's just one of those things that there's no point in holding on to pain. You know.
Amazing. Okay. Next question. Let's do it. Hey, James. Next question is, what is one movie you could watch over and over again?
Oh, so I worked in the movie industry for about 7 years.
Oh, wow.
Before I moved from university and until I was about 28, I worked in the movie industry in the movie industry. I love movies. There are several that I watch at least once a year. Um, Shawshank Redemption. I mean, that's a bit of a classic one. Shawshank Redemption. I would say the three that I could watch repeatedly, and please forgive me, but it has to be three. Shawshank Redemption, American Beauty, and American History X.
Wow.
They're the
And
three.
who is your let's say the actor and actress that you admire the most? That you go like, okay, that's my
I
idol
mean,
or
without going Pacino or De Niro, which 95% of people would, I would probably say Denzel Washington. I love his movies. He picks great films. He's great in everything. Everything he does, I've never seen a bad Denzel Washington film. I love every performance that he puts on. I love that he throws his own little phrase, like he says, "My man," like "my man." He says that in a lot of movies. That's just his little phrase. You would only notice it if you really kind of watch a lot of Denzel Washington. But you know, some of my favorite movies are his movies. You know, Man on Fire, Training Day. You know, he's just a powerhouse of an actor. Yeah, just powerful. I have this thing about powerful films. You know, I love watching films where I feel like I've been kicked in the stomach at the end of it. You know, the ones that just wrench your. It's incredibly powerful watching something that has that effect on you. You know, so yeah, that's why American History X as well. That movie had a profound effect on me. I don't know if you're familiar with it. Ed Norton plays this kind of neo-Nazi who obviously realizes how horrible that life is. He wants to get out, and then it's the way it affects his younger brother. And there's no spoilers, but anyone that hasn't seen that movie needs to see that movie. It's one of the most powerful movies there is. Yeah, American Beauty is another fantastic film. First time I watched it, I hated it. I was told it was a comedy, and it is not a comedy. There are kind of funny bits in it, but I thought it. Yeah, I thought it was going to be funny, and it wasn't. Um, but then then about 6 months later, someone said you need to watch that again because it really is a fantastic film.
Yeah.
Um, so I did. I watched it again, and then I watched it 10 times that week, including 3 times in one day. That's how
Oh,
much I can watch movies.
wow. I
And it
love
turned into
movies.
one of my favorite movies for a long time. It's a fantastic, very, very deep film about beauty and our perception of beauty. You know, some people think there's, the dad thinks that the beauty is his daughter's classmate, who's a stunningly beautiful girl, but then the next door neighbor sees the beauty in his daughter, who is a very beautiful person inside, but not so beautiful outside. It's very, very deep. I still love it. I haven't seen it for about 6 months, so I should definitely watch it again. Yeah, it's a really great one.
My God, I love movies and I can watch like over and over again, but not like you, like 3 times a day. I don't will be able to.
That's an exception. I have to say that's the only time I've ever done that. But American Beauty just got me, absolutely got me. It's a fantastic, fantastic film. Yeah, it really is.
Next question, James. Let's do it. Right, before the next one, tell me what's the biggest joy of being a musician? What do you like the most about it? And the flip side, what's the biggest challenge in the business?
The biggest joy is just the look on people's faces when you do a trick and they just don't expect what's going to happens. That's my favorite thing. Yeah, the biggest joy is just that change of expression because you're giving someone a very unusual feeling when you perform magic for them. It's not you could be surprised at something, you could be shocked, but when someone does magic for you and when I show you something just impossible, it's a very bizarre emotion to go through, and it's a very beautiful emotion to go through. A lot of people say to me, I feel like a kid. When you watch magic, you feel like a kid, and I get that because when you're a kid, like magic is real. It's absolutely real. You're a kid. Father Christmas comes down the chimney and he gives you presents. Like that's real when you're a kid. Or you lose your tooth and you put it under your pillow and the tooth fairy comes and swaps it for a 10 pence coin. Like that's real when you're a kid, and that's real magic. But then as you get older, you get more wiser to the world and you become more educated and you kind of lose that magic. So what I do is I show you something right in front of your eyes. And just for a moment, it just takes you back to that time when you're a kid, when you genuinely believe the magic is real. It's as well as I can describe it. Yeah.
And the flip side, what do you find most challenging about your job?
Most challenging is always coming up with new stuff and always learning new stuff, and I love that. I met a magician here a couple of years ago who said, and I haven't seen him since. He said, I said, oh, we're doing a gig together, and I was like, oh, let's swap some ideas and all that. And he was like, oh, I've been doing the same stuff for years. I'm not really interested in learning anything new. And I was so surprised by that because I was like, I'm always wanting to learn new stuff. Like I'm constantly, every week, I'm like, oh, right, what can I learn now? I'm always watching lectures, I'm reading books, I'm always trying to better myself as a magician. And that's just my challenge to myself. I always like to see my mates and try new things on them. Because I just find that interesting. I genuinely get bored when I perform the same trick. Like there are some tricks that I will do until the end of time because they are unbelievably beautiful and brilliant. But I stopped carrying playing cards around with me for about 2 years because I was just bored of card magic. And I was like, I really wanted to learn more mentalism. So that was just my challenge. I was like, right, I'm not carrying cards around with me. and I just left my house with like my phone, my wallet, and my business cards and a pen, just to learn mentalism, and that really kind of pushed me into mentalism more. So yeah, that's the challenge is to always better myself and learn new magic.
Amazing. Right, next question is, describe yourself in 3 words.
Oh my God. Um, in 3 words, childish, or immature. Yeah, my partner would say the same. She's right here. Um, uh, um, positive and fun, I think.
And a
Positive.
negative one, what that to be? A negative word.
My negative words, I would say, I can be oversensitive.
Hmm.
Um, my sister says I'm selfish, and I think she knows me better than anyone. So I would say that's certainly true. I can be selfish. Um, and
I'll take those two. I'll take those two.
yeah. Gosh, yeah. I'm trying to think about, yeah. I think it's important, no, but I think it's important to recognize negatives in yourself and try and work on them as best you can. You know, so, yeah.
And when you think about yourself, when you analyze yourself, what's the best part of being James? What do you like the most about being you?
Um, mm, best part. I think the best part is I just strive to be as happy as possible, and I strive to make people around me happy. That's as much as I can do. As I said, I want to have as positive an impact on as many people as I meet as possible. Because as you said, you know, the guy in Cambodia, and I've had other instances in my life where I've had people have a horribly negative impact on me, and
Mhm.
and I just, you know, I kind of feel sorry for people like that as well. I was like, that's what you do. You go through life having bad impacts on people. Whereas you can just have such a lovely impact on people. It's not hard, you know, just be nice, be kind,
Yeah.
do nice things, you know. I think it was, I love the Joe Rogan podcast. And when I listened to the first Elon Musk one, Joe Rogan said to him at the end, what's the one thing you want to leave at the end of this podcast? What would you say to everyone? And Elon, he did one of his long pauses and he said, you know, the world just needs more love. So I think everyone should just try and spread love more, which I thought was really interesting because someone from Elon Musk, you know, he's a you know wonderfully intelligent and important person and important entrepreneur. He could have given something about the importance of you know moving to electrical cars or let's go to space, let's be a multi-planet species, all the things that he really believes in. But then he's like, no, the world just needs more love, and I completely agree with that. Yeah, it really does. There's a lot of animosity, and it's a shame because human beings should love each other. Yeah, it's
Easy.
important. Yeah.
Ready for another one?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Next question. Hey, James. Next question is, if you could stay any age for the rest of your life, what age that would be and why?
I'm really happy with the age I am now,
Mhm.
honestly. Like I turned 41 in August, and it was it was the end of my 30s. I really didn't like that. My 30s was the best decade of my life so far. My 20s was great. My 30s was absolutely incredible. I literally just traveled the world and met wonderfully fun and creative people, and I kind of struggled towards the end of my 30s because I was like, I feel like I'm coming to the end of something, you know. Now that I'm in my 40s, I mean, like people are like, oh my God, 40s is, you know, it's the end of the, you know, it's all downhill from here kind of thing. But I don't agree with that. I think the 40s, you're just beginning with something, you know, this is the start of something. So I'm really happy with the trajectory of where things are at the moment. I really
You're
am.
1981 or 1982?
82, August 82.
Same here.
Awesome.
I'm November, so just a bit younger than you.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? I think 40s is a really cool age to be. It really is. I feel like I kind of understand life more. I used to I used to make very rash decisions when I was younger, and I just think it's you just you just learn more, you take on more the older you get, and it's that thing of like I wish I'd known some stuff 20 years ago. I wish I knew what I knew now because I would have lived a very different life, I think.
Totally.
Not I'm in no way going, I wish I'd lived something like this. Because I'm incredibly happy with how my life has gone since I left school. Essentially, yeah, it's yeah, but it's such an easy thing to say. Hindsight is such a wonderful thing. It's very easy to
Great.
say that. Yeah.
Cool. I have 3 questions left, okay? Let's do it. James, before the next question, as you know, you lived different part of the world already, exploring new cultures, new experiences. For you, being British, there was something that, people that, cross your path, something that you go like, they got it right about British people, about England, about London, and something that got completely wrong. There's something that you can share through your experience.
English people are quite okay. So yeah, the that's a really interesting question. I'm really enjoying these questions, by the way. They're really making me think. They're not generic questions. I appreciate how much thought you put into these questions. Um, English people can be quite negative, and I think it's due to. I think so much of it is due to the weather. I really do. Just the grey, 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 cold weather. And when you go and live in somewhere like Barcelona for a while, you just realize that how when you live in a sunny country, how happy people are, and it makes such a colossal difference. If London had Barcelona's weather, it would be one of the greatest cities in the world. It is a fantastic city, but if it just had the climate. So yeah, to say that English people are relatively moody, I think is true. Yeah, I do say that true. But there is a huge amount of spirit in English people. I'm obviously from London. There is the thing of like the further north you get, the friendlier people get, which I think is absolutely true as well. Like some of the friendliest people I know are from like Newcastle and Manchester, like that bit further north. So yeah, there's a lot of spirit in England. We're a very tenacious people. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Mhm.
Next question is, define yourself in a season of the year and why.
Oh, summer,
Of course.
summer. Just love summer. I love summer. I worked many years in just going from summer to summer to summer seasons. Summer season in Barcelona to the summer in Mexico or Nicaragua, back to the summer in Barcelona to the summer in Guatemala. In Asia. I live my life in summer. It's a beautiful happy time, summer. It really is. So yeah, summer for sure.
Okay. 2 questions left. Let's do it. But before the next question, would you like to tell me, through your career, tell me a situation that you're, doing your tricks and everything that went wrong for some reason. And if it ever happened to you that went wrong and, people realized and you're not expect something interesting that you could share. And also, the other part of the question is if you can share one of the highlights of your, career, something that you could be anything you did to someone and suddenly the reaction was unique or something that you're never gonna forget.
Yeah, for sure. So, firstly, when trick goes wrong, so yeah, magic goes wrong. It definitely does go wrong, especially when you first learn a new trick. It does go. It can go wrong. I always show it to one person and just kind of run through the mechanics. And this is someone that I know very well. And then you just do the trick more and more, then you take it to the public, and then this one trick, it's actually the closer to my parlor show and my stage show. It's an incredibly difficult trick which involves 4 people shuffling up a pack of playing cards in the audience, and then all of them are shuffled together. I'm given 20 seconds to memorize as many as I can, which is roughly half the pack. I give half the pack to one person, half the pack to someone else. I tell people just to sort them into the suits. So all the suits are together, the clubs, the hearts, the spades, the diamonds, and then do the same with the other half of the pack. I briefly tell people about my speed memorization techniques, how I do it, and then I bring them up on stage. They stand behind me, and I ask them to fan the cards out, and I correctly call out one at a time every card they're holding. You know, you have the ace of hearts, you have the two, you have the three, the four, and the five, and they're just dropping the cards out of their hand until both their hands are empty. It's a phenomenal card trick, and it went spectacularly wrong in front of over 100 people at a desert show here 2 years ago. And I talk about that now before I do this trick. My little preamble is I tell that story very briefly. I don't say about the trick. I say what happened. That it went so wrong. And the next day I phoned my mentor and I told him what happened. And he was like, right, just try and do everything you can to mitigate it. It's good that it's happened to you though, because you have to know what that feeling is, you know? And so I decided to not do the trick again, but then I realized that challenging myself is incredibly important. You'll never know what you're truly capable of until you challenge yourself beyond the bounds of what you think is possible. So now I do that trick as a closer to my stage show because that's my challenge to myself is doing essentially the hardest trick I know and one that has gone spectacularly wrong. I did it. I did it. What day is it today? I did it on Thursday at the Marriott in front of like 200 people, and it's terrifying. It still terrifies me to this day. That trick, it really does. But it is a spectacular trick, and it's a kind of standing ovation trick at the end of my show. So it is. Yeah, that has gone wrong, very, very wrong. But it's just about learning from your mistakes. You know, that's as much as you can do.
Absolutely.
And yes, the greatest thing that's ever happened to me in magic. When I was in Barcelona, my favorite music is drum and bass. It always has been. I've loved it with a passion since I was about 13. Arguably the best DJ in drum and bass is called Andy C. He's a drum and bass DJ from Essex. And in 2018, he was performing in the bullfighting arena, the old bullfighting arena in Barcelona. I met the organizer of that festival, this wonderful guy called Paul Haslam. Did a bit of magic with Paul, and he's like, right, you're going to do some magic for the artists. So I got to perform for Andy C and do magic for him, which is, I mean, just the absolute highlight of my career. I don't know how I'm ever going to top it. If I perform for King Charles, it still wouldn't be as important to me as performing for Andy C. You know, like he is my idol. I got his record label I have tattooed on my back. It was my first tattoo I got when I was 17. Like that's the love I have for this guy and for his music. I listen to his music every day, and I have done for over 25 years, you know. And so to get to meet him and perform magic for him and him being so lovely. I didn't tell him anything about how much I loved him or his music or anything. I wanted to do my magic first, just to because I didn't want him to love the magic because he knows how much I love him, you know. So anyway, so that was an absolute highlight of my life, and I got to then perform for him a year later in Ibiza. And he's actually coming to Dubai to perform at a festival here in a couple of days. So inshallah, it'll be third time lucky performing for him in
Wow.
a couple of days. Yeah,
Amazing. Very good.
but yeah, absolute highlight that, and I don't know how it'll ever be topped, but we'll see.
Next question is, what makes you a unique person?
Yeah, I think that's a wonderfully difficult question. Um, yeah, I just think everyone's unique. Everyone has their own idiosyncrasies. Everyone has good parts to them, everyone has bad parts to them. It's about kind of just working on yourself. I'll say maybe the thing that's unique is just the way that I challenge myself. I really, really try and challenge myself. Like in 2021, I decided I hadn't been reading enough, so I set myself a challenge to read 52 books, like a book a week. And I just loved it. I loved it so much that now I'm just an absolutely avid reader. I'm so lucky that I get to do a job that is mainly in the evenings, and So now I read for an hour or two each day, which is an absolutely wonderful luxury to be able to do. So yeah, I've been taking cold showers for over 3 years now. I love, love, love cold showers. So they're the best thing in the world. Ice baths, yeah, challenging myself is that's definitely, yeah, that's what I really like doing. So maybe that's, I mean, I know a lot of people do that, so maybe that's not so unique, but yeah, I'll say that's
Don't be modest, okay? Last question,
yeah,
ready?
yeah.
Let's do it. Let's run. Before the last question, actually, I'm going to ask you. It's just a personal question that I always had that in the back of my mind. I don't know if you can answer that or if you have an answer for that. When I see, magician, magic people doing their best, and sometimes you go like, my God, that's impossible. It's impossible. How he made this to happen? How this situation happened? It's impossible. My question for you is: every magic there is a trick behind. Every magic there is something, that you guys do that is gonna trick us. That is, there is something behind or not. That's my question for you.
Um, there's a wonderful quote by Teller, who is Penn and Teller, who do Fool Us, the magic show where magicians go on and they try and fool them. And it's something along the lines of the secret of magic is to spend more time on something than anyone might reasonably expect. Because that is magic. Magic is practice, practice, practice. I do a lot of mentalism, which gives me the impression that I'm psychic, but I'm not. And if anyone asks me if I am psychic, I say no, because I don't believe in psychics. In fact, psychics use very much the same methods that we do.
Mhm.
But I just, we're honest about our dishonesty. We say this is a trick. It is entertainment. Magic is there to make people happy. It's to spread joy, to spread positivity and love. So yeah, yeah, yeah. I would say, it's work, it's practice, and it is highly, highly rewarding. It's what magic is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last question is: what makes you feel discouraged?
What makes me feel discouraged? I just think negativity. I think negative people.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, what discourages me? Are you talking about life in general, or in
Yeah,
my
overall. Yeah.
overall? Yeah, just negative people. I don't want to be around negative people. I don't want to be around toxic people. I think the best thing to do is to get those people out of your lives and to spend your time. We have a very, very limited amount of time on this planet, very, very limited, and you should be spending that with people who are positive for you. I love surrounding myself with people who are driven and successful and fun, because they're the people that bring you up. And I love it when I see my friends doing well, when my friends are successful in something. And I said several friends who are mind-blowingly successful, and I love it. It makes me so happy when I see my friends doing well. Yeah, just being around positive people, because there's no time for negative people. There's just not. Or people that have a negative impact on your life. There's just no time for it.
I love that, James, and I agree with you. I always had this thing when I see, successful people around me, or when I see them talking, and when I interact with them somehow, when they intimidate you somehow as well, like, my God, is a good place to be, because somehow you learn with those people, you get things from them, and it's like a sharing energy as well. And I think it's all part of the, I love it for me as well. When I see successful people, I stop for a minute, and I love to listen to them, because there's always something that you can learn and, get from it. Yeah, overall.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
one word for money.
Time.
Fear.
Pain.
Family.
Love.
Life.
Journey.
How about love?
Sylvie.
Politics.
The
Sex.
happy.
Religion.
Controlling.
Friendship.
Everything.
Desire.
Want.
Regret.
Not worth it. Sorry, that's 3 words.
Okay. Success.
Strive.
Wish.
Fulfillment.
Happiness.
Aim.
One word for Barcelona.
Beautiful.
One word for Dubai.
Incredible.
London. One word.
Hometown.
And the last one now, magician. One word.
Passion.
Amazing. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your lovely partner for a coffee, and I'm going to ask her, define, James, one positive word and one negative word only. What should say? Actually, I'm gonna put this question a different way. Actually, because you already talked about negative and positive. If I would ask her, what's the best part? What do you like the most about James? What's something that stands out about him? What should say?
I think she would say my positivity, maybe.
She agrees?
What would you say? Yeah, she's saying positivity. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. Let's play now, James, and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Right, but before you ask me the question, James, if you could, do something or, entertain something regarding magic, something that you do usually with, people that you meet, in the street or when you are performing, if you could do something.
Sure. Let me do one thing for you. This is one of my favorite things to do. It's a card trick. It's very simple, but we're going to do this over Zoom, obviously. So, I want you to think of a card, William. This can be any card you want. Are you familiar with playing cards?
I'm not in English. Okay, so just before we start, just tell me. So the names in English, just for me.
Hearts, diamonds, clubs.
Okay.
So spades, hearts, diamonds, clubs. There are 52 cards in a pack of playing cards. They go from ace to 10, and then there's jack, queen, king.
Okay.
Now, there are a couple of cards that are very popular, like the ace of spades. It's the best card in the pack, so a lot of people pick that. A lot of people pick the queen of hearts. That's another very popular card. Let's stay away from the obvious cards. William, change your mind a few times. Okay, mix it up as much as you want. Whenever you're ready and you're happy, just settle on one card. Okay?
Okay, I got it.
You're happy? Okay, now you can say out loud, I've already made a prediction in this pack. I'm going to tell you what I've actually done. I've turned one card around so it's facing outwards. Okay? So you can say out loud, I've already made the prediction. What card are you thinking of?
Can I tell you?
Please do, yeah.
3 hearts.
The 3 of hearts?
Yeah.
Nice. That's a random card as any. Where did the 3 of hearts come from?
It's just my lucky number.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that though, did I? I didn't know the 3 of hearts. The 3 is your lucky number. You never told me that.
No.
Well, look. These are bicycle playing cards. If you're familiar with these cards, they're in like TV series and all the rest of it. I told you there's one card in this pack that's the other way around. I turned it the other way around, and you can see there's one card. It's the 3 of hearts. It's the one card in this pack. Now, the thing is, you could have thought, you know, I'm a magician. I very quickly turn the card round. You could think that, which is a very, very normal thing to think. But this is actually the only blue card in the otherwise completely red deck. So it's the one card, which is the blue card. But if that wasn't enough of a convincer, that I was convinced that the Three of Hearts was the only card you could have possibly picked. These are blank. All these cards are blank. So the Three
Oh
of
my
Hearts was
God.
actually the only card in the entire pack. It's Three of Hearts.
Oh my God. Oh my God, James. That's something that I was expecting to happen. Thank you so much. My goodness, thanks so much for doing that. My goodness, just made my day now. Actually, it was my first magician in the show, and it just made my day now. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me on. It's very, very kind of you to spend the time doing this.
Before you go, if you can share just a positive message or anything that you live by.
Yeah, this tattoo on my arm, it's in Italian because I have very deep ties with Italy. It says, "Sii felice, pensare positivo, continua a sorridere, e la vita è mala, è una cosa bellissima." It means be happy, stay positive, keep smiling, and love life. It's a beautiful thing.
Amazing.
That's my own personal little motto that I have to myself whenever I'm feeling down or depressed or anything like that. I just look at this and you have to count your blessings. The fact that we live in in the countries that we do, and we have a roof over our heads, we have food in the fridge, like we are wealthier than literally billions and billions of people. We should be grateful for this. We really, really should be grateful for it, and we shouldn't take anything for granted. One quote that I kind of live by is comfort is the enemy of progress. It's the reason why I left Barcelona. I was horribly, horribly comfortable there. I had a very comfortable, simple life, but I really wanted to progress myself as a person, progress myself as a magician. So I threw myself into an unknown situation in Dubai, and I'm very lucky that it's going well. I work very, very hard at it. So comfort is the enemy of progress. Don't just sit and be comfortable. Really push yourself beyond the bounds of what you think you can do, because that's the only way that you're ever really going to achieve things you never thought you could.
Not knowing, it's a powerful place to be. So just look for it and go, and you have a know. Regards to your partner, to your family and friends, and you keep in touch, okay? It was a pleasure. And thanks so much for staying too late. I know you're quite late for you when you made that happen. Thanks so much, okay?
Okay. Thank you, William. Have a lovely evening. Appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.